Join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3, Summer Projects Update, presented by Lingo Construction.
Appreciate y'all's time tonight. I want to give you a quick update on some of the projects we've just completed, as well as the that we are presenting tonight for potential to start. So, first off, starting with the gym office update. So this gives a little bit of a plan layout for those who kind of refresh your memory on that. We have 3 offices, 2 larger offices and one kind of a middle reception type office, along with a large storage area that we put on the north, above the north bleachers of the basketball gym. All of this is complete, pending installation of the millwork. We were trying to get that in before the work that's currently going on there now was occurring, but there were some delays with the millwork. So that's ready, but we're waiting until they're done. Should be installed on the 11th, providing the cleaning company is done by then. So then we would essentially be done by the end of that week of the 11th, so July 14th. But that would be the only remaining item there. So we've completed the punch list with Jennifer and Greg outside of those items, and so it's ready for occupancy. Some pictures of the inside of it and outside, but gives you a little perspective of that area. Really cleans up windows, provide really kind of a good space to look out for coaches and things like that. Next project that we just recently completed was a softball concession stand. When we started, there was quite a bit of old millwork in here, small sink, no real upper cabinetry. There's some shelvings, things like that. In this first floor, the concession area had small windows that were only about 12 inches tall. Really not a lot of light in there. People said it got really hot because there's no breeze or anything like that. So what we did was we installed some bigger windows on the first floor. These are operable as well. So for someone in there working the concession stand, if you wanted, you could actually open the window, hear more of the atmosphere of the game. So that's a little bit more easier for those people to do that. The millwork that we put in this matches what we did in the baseball concession stand 2 or 3 summers ago, probably 2 summers ago. But it matches that essentially in all the function and usability of it. Put new floors in as well, and new LED lighting so it has better appearance in there, brighter. Made a sink that was bigger so that you can, the problem previously was it was a bar sink, so one of those 12 by 12, you really couldn't get anything down in there to actually clean. So on the second floor, we did a new bigger counter. We also added a 3rd window, and so part of the comment was that this half, the back half of that wasn't finished out, and so we put some shelving in, wardrobe closets, things like that for storage, IT rack, and then put a 3rd window in so that you could have 2 announcers along with a videographer up there. Was kind of the desire of that area. So on the outside, it used to have a very tight spiral stair that went up to the 2nd floor. We put in a typical stair, easier to access. With that, we also, to get to the visitors side bleachers, it's kind of a narrow concrete pathway around. So we poured a new sidewalk that essentially wraps all the way around this new stair, so it's easier to access that. So those are the completed projects. Both of those are outside of the millwork, 100% done. The new ones that we are proposing for today, softball locker room. So out there at the facility out there. This is a picture of the existing facility right now. We are looking to make quite a few upgrades to this area. Put new ceilings in. By now they're old and some of the tiles are falling out. So doing a good touch-up replacement where we need to. Installing some better shelving that they need. Putting some trim and base around the existing lockers to make them more presentable and kind of just tighten things up as far as those are. They're separate units, and so just kind of making them more condensed. redo the paint in the locker room itself, replacing the LED lighting. In the restrooms, we're gonna be replacing the toilet petitions. Right now, they are not fully functional, and so we're gonna be replacing those with a stainless steel version that would make it better for longevity of time. With that, replace the flooring, and a few other additions. A new water fountain that has a bottle filler. Right now, the old one doesn't. So things like that. So with that, this is the floor plan of the space. The big batting cages are out here. This would be, the softball field is off to this side. But you have the restroom, locker room, so that's kind of the layout of it. Total estimate for that was $41,779 for those things I said. There was more items that they wished for us to look at, but from a timing standpoint or pricing standpoint, we did not recommend those at this time. So those were adding a shower and redoing some mechanical equipment. Both of those could be done, but they cannot be done in the time frame that we need to get this back in shape, which is the 15th of this next month. And so this is a very fast project. Essentially, if we got the recommendation to proceed, we would start next week. So to get as much of this done before the season as we can. There will be a few things that won't happen before season, but will happen coordinated with the team for that. You gonna handle it individually or together?
What's that?
Individually or together?
Together.
So the second project that we are looking at is a campus lighting project upgrade for this campus here. These notes all around, we don't, not going to go in detail really, but essentially all around the building we're upgrading lighting to be uniform. For comparison, the lighting that we're using over there on the storm shelter and the stuff that we've done whenever we've done these canopy projects, that type of lighting would be kind of carried throughout the rest of the school facade. And so all around this we're doing different upgrades. So this would be the north half, the high school. We've got decorative fixtures, can lights, and surface lights. Some of this is upgrading lights that are already there and just more making them either LED or more just functional. If you go around the school at night, there are some quite a few flickering lights where there's some ballast out or something in the actual fixture. So that kind of gives you an overview of the different areas we're looking at doing things. We are not going to be doing the pole lights with this phase, wasn't part of this recommendation, but those are noted here. So all these lights except for the pole lights would be stuff that would be recommended. So with that, we broke these into 3 different categories. And so decorative wall sconces, those are the decorative ones that you see like out there in the storm shelter. Wall packs, these would be over most of your exits and walkways, sidewalks, things like that. And then can lights. So these can lights would be up in the coves of some of your exits, around the elementary and the east side of high school. Have those can lights, and then also just like this soffit out here, we'd be putting can lights in underneath that just to provide accent lighting, just to keep the building lit at night. So with that, we went out to 3 electricians who are familiar with the school, because all of this electrical is all happening on an existing building. It's not as simple as just saying, here's the drawings. So we went to 3 electricians who are all familiar with the school, have done work for us here, or on a recent project that was close proximity that we would trust to do that work. Out of the 3, only one of them was desirable to actually do the work, and they provide the numbers which we're presenting tonight. So for each of these, they've been broken out into 3 different scopes there: 34,144, 32,342, and 20,091. So you could essentially break those into smaller components if you wanted. Our recommendation would be you do all these at one time. So with that, that is the end. Any questions I can answer?
Just anything, you guys have any questions on any of that, either one of those?
So with the lighting, we've done a lot to the exterior, I know, so it wouldn't be replacing any of those. That was all upgraded at that time, correct? So this would be from the existing old building.
Yeah. So for comparison, like down here on the west side of the middle school, we're not doing any lighting in this area. We're not doing any replacement of the canopy lights that are on the canopies over here. We are adding, like on the high school entrance here, we are adding more to those decorative lights around those. When we did those canopies, we installed lighting in the canopy, but we did not touch any of the lighting that was usually associated underneath the building soffit. And so on the high school, for example, there's a light that's right out the door. We didn't touch that one. We did the ones that are in the canopy when we did those. And so while we're in the same area, any of the lights, the new lights, no, they're not being replaced. But there are a few lights where they were close that didn't get in the original construction.
On the soft space or the ability to add a shower later on, or that would be a whole?
You could add one. It would be a pretty extensive process. So these are two sinks. Right now they use this as a kind of a makeup counter, and then you have two restroom, a single stall and a handicap stall restroom in this. In order to get a shower in there, we would need to take both restrooms and shove them essentially right up next to the sinks, and so you'd lose that counter space. But with our remodeling in here, we are going to provide an area for a counter space and mirror out there, so you could trade those out to that space. You could put a shower down here in this end of the locker room. In order to do that, you would have to bust up the floor. That is one thing that, just to be aware, if you add it, we would be recommending to put a new floor in right now. If you were to want to add the shower, you'd be removing the floor and have to replace it. That cost is not extensive, and is why we would recommend doing the floor now and then still doing it later if you had that desire.
Do we have a shower in the boys, in the baseball room, or in the
Yes.
baseball locker room?
They don't use it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was
But you
actually
can.
being used as storage right now.
But the ladies do want one, or that was requested?
It was a request question. It was not a, we need one as much as,
Can
should we have one?
Wish list.
Yeah, a wish list.
Okay. But that
And
means
that's,
they
and
want
that's how
one.
it was a wish list.
So,
Okay.
you probably didn't bid out that shower. Do you have any idea? Is it 20 grand? Is it 30 grand? What's your best guess that I won't hold
I
you to?
would guess it's in that
20 to 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We can't do it now because we've got to get,
Yeah.
yes, timing's bad.
Right.
But if we want to do it, I'm not opposed to doing it, and we have the building fund money to do it. We just got to do it after the season.
Yeah, yeah, they have to do it in the fall, or late fall, early.
And if we thought, yeah, we want to do that, is there any, so you're gonna move this over here. Is there any of this that how much of that floor are we gonna have to redo that we're doing?
It could be minimal.
Because you're really gonna take it out right here.
Yeah, so the components that we need to do, all the toilets and plumbing in this area are in the floor, in the concrete, and so compared to like in this school, in most of the school building here, you're doing wall mounts, and so your plumbing's in the walls, not the floor. And so in here it's all on the floor, and so in order to move it, we would have to cut the floor. We could easily cut the floor and do the patches where we have to cut the floor.
Cause you're gonna have to cut the floor here to put in the plumbing here.
To move the restrooms, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
I remember the softball when we were taking a tour, they had storage everywhere. I mean, they had a ton of things. Is that what that wire, yes,
Yeah.
there.
So part of their desire, they have, I don't remember the exact amount now. They have more lockers in the locker room than what they need. And so they have lockers on this back wall, essentially all four walls. What they need in order to have the right number of lockers for the team is lockers on this wall, and only about 2/3 of this one. Right now, these corner lockers aren't usable. You can kind of see in that picture, they're tucked behind the other locker. And so as a part of this, we would actually scrap those two, would be the kind of the recommendation, or you could keep them, but we're not counting them as usable, if that makes sense, but you don't need the lockers that are back here. And so this is where they wanted to put wire rack storage, for the ability to get everything that's currently up here
Mhm.
off of it, to just clean the appearance as you walk in.
Yeah, okay.
Right now, when you, the picture scaling doesn't look right, but it is wider than what it appears. It
Yeah.
looks like it's really
Yeah.
out. But when you walk in right now, it does feel cluttered, just because of the amount of items that are up there on top. And so that is actually one thing that they've independently, since we met with them almost a month and a half ago, they have actually gone in and they've cleaned out everything that's in there, slightly in preparation for us potentially being there, but then also just in general of, hey, let's clean things and put things somewhere. And so they found other places to put things. Part of the storage that we put in the second floor of the concession up in the announcers area, part of that material went out to there. I forgot to mention, a part of this also is a $4,000, that puts a power outlet in each of the dugouts. Right now, they run extension cords from the concession stand to the dugouts per fan.
Mm.
And so, that provides that. It's not a lot of power, but it's enough to essentially operate some fans.
Like mounted fans, or what kind of fans?
That would
Or
be up
just-
to them.
I think they just run like a box fan to,
Okay.
for air.
Some air.
But,
Okay.
and they
We
just
could
want,
put fans in there if they wanted. Right now, we're just providing an outlet for them to fan them.
yeah.
Fans with misters?
No? I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Looks good. I'm really glad.
Any other questions, guys?
I didn't see ECC's not being touched, is it, with the lighting?
No.
I know they've got a ton of lighting on
The
there.
ECC, I believe
I
has.
bet you do.
They have some of the lighting that we are recommending. They don't probably have as much, but they do have some of it. I mean, the architectural style won't be lost between, I guess, if that helps, but they don't currently have any going with it.
Yeah, okay.
You mentioned only one contractor did, is that correct, or is that?
Yes, only one so we went out to 3 different contractors, only one provided a number back to us. The other 2 rejected because of schedule and time. It's, electrical work is busy right now.
Okay.
I think a lot of people look at this job as, quite a bit of time investment, if that makes sense, just because of all the, you're not coming in this room and doing
Mhm.
16 fixtures. You're doing one, in order to do all that work, you're
You're
going
moving,
into a
yeah.
classroom, doing work for a fixture, next classroom, a fixture, and because you're going through the extra wall. So it's not the most desirable electrical work, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
If there's any concerns, like I said, we can go out and we can help verify some numbers, for electrical, if that was a desire. Right now, we've reached out to the 3 and only one's provided a number back. And one that's provided a schedule, to be able to actually do that.
Very good. All right, thank you, Jacob.
Thanks.
Item 4, discussion possible action to approve or not approve lighting quote number 2227 with Jesse Lewis Inc. Page 1.
Move approval, item 4.
Second.
Roll call vote.
You got,
Alex.
yeah, just start with the name trying to. But you gotta call Pettit. Yeah, but you have to call them out loud and they have to say their.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Or yea or nay?
So, Jars,
Yes.
Wallstead,
Yes.
Pettit,
Yes.
Palmer. Yes. And Miller.
Yes.
You go.
Yes.
Oh, I called you.
Yes.
Okay.
Item 5. Discussion and possible action to approve or not approve following renewals, contracts, agreements for fiscal year 23. Memorandum of lease with Bethany First Church of the Nazarene for the property at 4109 North Willow, Floyd Center. B, memorandum of lease with Bethany First Church of the Nazarene for the property at 6825 Northwest 39th Expressway, that's the Meacham House. C, facilities use agreement with Bethany First Church of the Nazarene for August 15th, 2022. D, Bethany First Church of the Nazarene Family Life Center corporate membership agreement in the amount of $1,500. E, Community Action Agency memorandum of understanding. F, service agreement with Infosys Spire, quote number 629-22442, in the amount of $3,388 for annual fire inspections. G, IXL cell contract. H, service agreement with Kellogg and Sovereign for E-rate filing and compliance services. I, Oklahoma Building Services janitorial agreement. J, agreement with the Beckham Company for workers' comp insurance from the Oklahoma School Assurance Group. K, Oklahoma School Insurance Group renewal agreement. L, Oklahoma Teacher and Leader Effectiveness Agreement. M, Power School quote number Q 6052341 for license and subscription fees in the amount of $2,029.29. And Renaissance quote number 2798323 for accelerated reader, star early literacy, star math, and star reading totaling $19,031. O, sports medicine and athletic training services subscription agreement with Norman Regional Hospital. P, Title III consortium cooperative agreement with Kingfisher Public Schools. Q, volunteer coaching contract with Diana Ramos for high school softball coach. And R, 3P learning math seed subscription total $31.50.
Could you read that again, please?
Yeah, I didn't get
Pretty
that.
sure that's it.
Yeah, we need a review of that.
Can you play that back?
Wow.
Any questions on any of that?
The only question I had was on the Renaissance quote. Do the dates need to be in the fiscal year, Drew? On those, it's 8/1 through 7.
They're working on fixing.
They are working on fixing that. Okay, I was going to say if not, we're going to run into something with the Department of Ed.
We are.
Do we need to
Okay.
table that then, or,
We can.
Or
what do you want?
approve it as corrected.
Yeah, approve it pending correction.
Oh, okay. I had a couple of questions. Remind me, the Floyd Center, when we lease that? Because we don't run the after-school program. What are we leasing it
No,
for?
leasing it for the gym during the
The
day.
gyms, yeah.
Oh, we do
The
use the gym?
Yeah.
That's,
Oh.
yeah, and that's what
Yes,
family
they're
life,
gyms.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Rotate through.
So next question is, have we always done that that memorandum of understanding with Head Start, or is that new?
No, we've always done that.
That was always
Yeah.
that way. Just a observation. It looks like our insurance has gone up quite a bit.
You know,
A
it's
lot.
gone up 15%. And 15% seems like a lot until you talk to all the other schools around, and some that have gone up as much as 80%. I know of a school that went up 100%. We talked, Jennifer and I met with our insurance guy, Tom Caraway, and I said, how do you do it based on because we had several claims this last year.
It's based on claim.
And
yeah, last-
he said that they put us in tiers, and even though we had some claims this year, we were still in tier 1. Tier 1 got a 12 to 15% rate increase, and then tier 2 was significantly more. Our consortium of administrators have been just singing the blues about this, because as this is the second year in a row that they've had that go up significantly. I say if it continues to go, we can't afford it, and there's no second choice. There's nobody else in the state. We have one provider in the state.
Well, I mean, we have a greater risk now because we built on, so there's that. But I mean, it's just doubled. Our premiums doubled since in the last 6 years. I didn't know if it was loss. Our
No.
claim.
Part of it's the added square footage too.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Additions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that was just the only thing I had to comment on.
Yep.
Just want the motion, Kim? Would you like to make the motion?
I'm happy to. move approval of item 5 with the corrected dates for item I.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Item I,
No, it's not I,
N.
Renaissance?
N.
And
N.
N.
In.
Renaissance for accelerated
Item N.
reader start early.
In as in Nancy.
yes. Yes.
Second.
I'm looking at a one that was sent to me the other day. I guess that's wrong. When did I print it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because the one in your packet.
Okay.
Item N, yeah.
Item N.
We have a second?
Second.
Yes.
Yeah. I now called it. Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Yes. Item 6, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve giving the superintendent and our chief financial officer the authority to discard, sell unusable equipment and items for fiscal year 23.
Motion to approve item 6.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes. Item 7, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve the appointment of the following administrative representatives at special education conferences for the 22-23 school year: Elizabeth Walters, Ashley Turnus, Erica Butler, Ann Euclid, Kylie Bernhard, Abby Parrish, and April Arthur.
Motion to approve. Item 7.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Yes. Item 8, discussion and possible action to approve or not approve the addition of middle school assistant principal position for 1 hour of the day.
So this is the thing I talked to you about last month that we may do. What we'll do is post it internally only. This is not gonna be an external person. If we can get an internal person scheduled to work where they can, one of the hours they can work with Trey and the middle school kids, we'll do that. If we don't, we won't.
How many people in the middle school have their, accreditation?
Megan Chavez does, and she's the one that we're kinda concerned about losing. Probably won't this year, but you know, she's looking. And then the rest are high school and there's some in the elementary.
Okay. Move approval item 8.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes. Item 9, discussion possible action to approve or not approve converting the school calendar from days to hours per House Bill 1864 and Senate Bill 441.
Motion to approve item 9.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Who seconded?
Check.
Chad.
Okay. Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes. Item 10, discussion possible action to approve or not approve the following out-of-town, out-of-state overnight trips as submitted. A, Amy Sellers and Jim Balderas to attend Parents as Teachers International Conference in Denver, Colorado on August 30th through September 2nd, with expenses to be paid from the Meachiv grant, pending Meachiv out-of-state travel approval.
Move approval item 10.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes. Item 11, executive session. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Walston.
Yes.
haven't been there yet. I need to go.
It's not Bucky's.
Where's my statement?
It's stapled underneath your folder you just said on.
There it is. Thank you. During the executive session, only the members of the board and the superintendent were present. Only items discussed were those listed on the agenda, and no votes were taken.
Motion to approve items A through L.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Jaggers,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Wolfson.
Yes.
Yes. Item 12, consent agenda. Anybody thing on the minutes, previous minutes?
Okay. So the first thing in your packet, in your binder, you have a proposal to transfer the class of 22's remaining balance to the high school activity fund. This is just what we do every year with a little bit that's left in there after their senior trip. Questions about that? And then there is a list of all of the activity funds for this year, or for the fiscal year 23, and their sponsors. And then item D is a proposal to increase the Bethany athletic ticket prices for next year.
Are there any new activity accounts, or are they just all the same?
There are not any new ones.
Okay.
Just, some have some different sponsors.
Okay.
Questions about those? Okay, we will just get it right in. So your staple packet, on the top starts with the activity fund. So you can see the outstanding encumbrances are down to 0. Everything has been paid and closed out. And our ending balance for the year is $600,431.04. So we're up a little bit from what we started with.
A little, yeah. $7,000.
Pretty much.
And then the next several pages are just the individual account information. So, questions about any of that? Okay. So next up is the general fund revenue. And I apologize for the huge print. I don't know what happened with this one, but it printed really big. So we'll just start at the top. Oh, is it better?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Who said-
I'll keep the large print.
For the over 40?
Yeah, you can tell she's
Okay, so district taxes, we are up $34,160 from last year. Interest, we are down $7,469. And the next three, reimbursement of a local general fund refund, we are up $16,932. So those three we've been down all year because of the bus grant, but we received our first insurance draw from the gym. So that was $125,015. So that's what that $154,000 in reimbursement. That's where that money went. Child nutrition, we are at $10,941 from last year. So total district revenue is up $54,565. Intermediate county formula is up $153,159 from last year. Mortgage tax is up $41,953, and resale is down $270. So total intermediate revenue is up $194,482. State gross production, we are up $14,202. Motor vehicle is up $143,240. School land is up $20,088. Vehicle stamp is up $1,140. Foundation and incentive is up $696,068. FBA is up $18,441. Alternative education is down $5,665. National board is down $10,000. Reading sufficiency is up 2,100. Textbooks are up 70,460. ACE technology is up 5,052. Child nutrition is up 1,170. And then family and consumer sciences is the same as last year. So total state revenue, we are up 956,353 from last year. The next page is the federal. So if you'll skip down the Indian Ed and the federal at the top, they stayed the same. MECHF, we are actually down 24,256 from where we were last year. We have not received May at this time. And child nutrition, we are up 106,748. And then the American Rescue Plan, we didn't have that last year, so that's all new revenue, and the school counselor core grant is all new. So total federal revenue, we are up 330,720 from last year. So grand total revenue is up $1,536,122 from last year. So you see down at the bottom, our projected fund balance is $3,424,935.14. We will add June's interest to that whenever that comes in next week. So that will change just a little bit, go up. And then all that is subject to the auditor coming in, making sure it's all what it should be. Questions about any of that?
It's excellent. It's a healthy balance.
Okay, the next two pages are encumbrances for approval from fiscal year 22 that we've done in June. So I will just ask if there's any questions over that. I know Chad and I were kind of talking before the meeting about the carpet, and so we are getting carpet in 13 classrooms. We're putting hard floors down in 4 areas. And then we're also doing carpet in the trainer area out at the indoor and getting new hard floor in that front area of administration where that tile is kind of peeling.
829, that's Josh Holliday's boot camp stuff, right?
Yes.
What is on 832, what classroom furniture are we purchasing?
So when we did the corridor, you know, Jeff Barsotti moved out, Cindy Tennyson moved in his old room, and so his furniture went to storage at the time because he was in the corral. And so then that has been kind of picked on for, oh, we've got 5 broken chairs, or we've got this, and so that's kind of gone through. So this will be new furniture in that classroom because Cindy's stuff will move out now.
And didn't we buy Ruben some chairs and?
We are going to.
It's
Yes, I don't
on
have
here.
it on here yet.
On the deep clean for the gym on 837, is that covered under the insurance?
It is,
Okay.
yes.
Did you see that number?
Yeah. That's
Almost as much as we paid for the gym, for the floor.
So
Yeah.
what kind of cleaning do they do? That's like.
Well, they've been in there all week long and they put all that stuff down. I mean, I expect it will be clean.
So they had to, they
You
put
could eat off
a
of it.
thick,
Yeah.
like, barrier on the top of the floor before they then put the wood down. And then I was talking to Josh today for Blackman Mooring, like the scaffolding is part of the big expense because they're having to, I guess they have quite a big crew in there to try to get it done quicker. So they're supposed to be done tomorrow with the scaffolding part up over the bleachers and stuff.
So they're cleaning the ceilings?
They're
and-
cleaning, like, literally
everything.
ceiling to the floor. They're doing
Wow.
the concession area, they're doing the offices, the lockers, the bathrooms, everything. They're even gonna do
So-
in the hallway.
So over the court, they can use a scissor lift, and that's why they put that stuff. But over the stands, they have to build scaffolding up into there
To get
and
up.
to
To
high
get up
enough
there.
Yeah.
to do what they need to do.
That, okay.
That's a project.
Yeah, so stop by there before you leave. So,
Yeah.
he said that, like, the top area is almost done, so he thinks they'll finish up tomorrow with that and then start moving down.
Track hurdles, is this a new thing?
We talked about it last week, but we didn't
Okay.
have the PO done.
Okay, I mean, wasn't aware that we even had hurdles. I didn't know we had.
Yeah,
already
we've
heard
got
old.
the track coach is right over there, but.
I'm glad to see it.
I'll tell you, our track hurdles were in poor condition.
Yeah.
I can
And
imagine.
these will be new, have
Great.
the logo on them. They'll be something we'll be proud of. And, you know, we've bought some stuff in the last 3 or 4 years trying to, we've gone kind of, track poor for a lot of years. They have not had, we haven't purchased a lot of stuff, but we bought those bags, those, jumping.
mats, yeah.
And we've bought several other things, and this is just,
Yeah, that's
they're
great.
not cheap, but,
That's good.
yeah.
Okay, the next page is the function summary for the general fund. And we are currently between the encumbered and spent, sitting at 91% of our appropriated amount. Last year at this time, we were at 87.68, so we're up 3.32% from last year. Next is the function summary for the building fund. The appropriated amount is what's there, so it has stayed the same since last month, and the balance is the same. We did get another red bud deposit in, $154,000 this month. Next is the bond fund function summary, and again, it's remained the same. We didn't get any more money in for that this year in June. And then the next is the function summary for the sinking fund, and we did deposit $2,863 in taxes this month, so that balance went up by that amount. And then the next, 6 pages are gonna be the blanket encumbrances that we do now to start July. So these are all of our reoccurring subscriptions, utilities, maintenance costs like Home Depot and all of that good stuff. So, questions about any of those?
The Conoco, number 30, that's the propane,
That is diesel.
diesel, okay.
And then we do Adventure Out as our propane.
Okay, I see that.
And you'll also see Love's number 69. So we did open an account with Love's because they do have some stations going each direction that do have propane as an option.
How are you guys feeling about Signature Landscape so far?
You know, we've had a couple bumps in the road, nothing major overall. I like the look. We've just had, I thought it would be more seamless, that they just do it and we pay them and go on, but they're growing, and so we're on our 3rd manager, and, you know, not everybody gets the message, and so we have to meet with them and go through the whole thing again. The ladies have done a lot of that, Ruben's wife and
And
her
Lisa.
sister, yeah. But, you know, I'm certainly nowhere close to wanting to look for somebody else. They're fine. It's just, you know, we had dead trees out there longer than I wanted them to be, and had to kind of get on them about that. And, but it'll be all right. Or it won't, and we'll fix it.
Yeah, it looks great right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we get those lights, what you guys put in there tonight, you know, people come around here for basketball games and parent-teacher conference stuff, and it's dark. And if you come around here at night, you don't really pay attention to where it's really dark and where the lights are flickering or yellow, or it's just, it'll look so much better when we get done. It's just the next step in what we're doing for campus.
We still really need signage.
Yeah. We can talk about that. I mean, signage is not terribly expensive. We just need to know.
We just need to
where-
be really,
where we
yeah,
want it.
clear, like where our athletic,
There needs to be something here that tells them to go out there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I totally agree.
On 122 and 123, so one is for the football field rather. What is 123 for? What else are we renting from SNU?
So the 123 is actually the yearly rental that we
Okay.
pay them. 122, we pay per game to rent the actual football field.
So
and that
1,000 a
is-
game then, I guess?
It depends. We add a little just because we don't know about playoffs and stuff. We have moved to paying, because we did used to pay them for the stadium cleaning as well, and then they pass that on to their company, that they use. And they have requested that we pay that company directly, so that's 144, that WFF. But this year, it only ended up being a little over 1,000 for the football rental itself, with us paying the cleaning company separate, so we just kind of put a little extra out there just in case.
And since we're no longer using the soccer field, is that?
It is not, we're not paying rent on that anymore. Okay, and the last thing is the pay that is handed you. So there are two encumbrances out of, the building fund for FY '23, that are both related to the lighting project that, Jacob presented on at the beginning. So it's the actual electrician company and then Lingo for the work that they are helping with on the project.
Motion to approve item 12A through F.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Jaggers,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Walston,
Yes.
Petty.
Yes. Any new business? No new business. 14, informational items.
So I think you all should have received an email saying that you were registered for that OSSBA conference. Has anybody not seen one? Carolyn,
Did
Carolyn's supposed to register all of you. I got one.
I
so
got one.
You got one? But you threw, you.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't
That's
remember
what I
getting
need to
mine.
follow up with.
I'll
Maybe
check.
I'll shoot her a text or
Yeah.
something. So I won't
It
be able
almost
to
looked like
attend.
an ad, but it kind of said registration in it. So then I opened it and it was like, oh, that's the registration for it. So
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need to
I'll
fill
find it.
anything out, or it's already done?
We've taken care of it.
Thank you.
You just have to write a check.
Nope, nope.
You said sure.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'll have to look and see if she texts.
Item 15, board member comments.
We need signage.
I tell you what, Heather, you come around and we will, you've already got it?
I'm writing
Send
it
it
up.
to me.
Okay.
You,
I'll
I
just
mean,
show it to you.
or just bring it to me, in my office and we'll put signs wherever you want. We'll put Heather Miller Stadium.
No, no, no. I'm just like, this is what, yeah, I'm just.
No, I'm serious. That's easy. That's,
Yeah.
that's very, very, reasonable.
Could put a QR code that opens up to, Google Maps out to there.
That's a
We could.
great
We
idea.
could. Absolutely.
Very good idea.
That'd be pretty.
I'll be on your committee.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All
We got a board
right.
committee.
There we go.
I would just say it's great to see Jacob in the presentation he made tonight. We continue with our athletic facilities. We
Yes.
talk about uniforms, we talk about track, we talk about these projects. The aesthetically, what the campus looks like. I mean, we're just really able to take care of a lot of things that needed to be done, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that you all have coordinated all of that. I know we kind of did that run through and had a big list of them, and then it was like, okay, how do you get all this done? And for Lingo, for them to step in really outside of the scope of what they do.
It is something, that is a good
great
point, Ken,
partnership.
because they're not really little nickel and dime project
No.
people. They're
41,000.
multi-million-dollar deal, and I've asked him to do $100,000 this, $50,000 that, and he doesn't blink an eye. And he always takes care of it, does a great job, and it's always done right. So I'm pleased too.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have that relationship.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree, that's a great point.
Superintendent's report.
Our summer painters have done a great job painting the halls this summer and a bunch of classrooms. I don't even know how many, but a ton. But one thing I want to, if you ever get a chance to go up to the 4th and 5th grade hall, Ruben asked them, and it was one of his teacher's idea, in the alcoves for where the doors are to go in the classroom, they painted those kind of a lavender color. And then the halls are gray like this out here. It looks so cool. It looks really, really neat. Our kids are gonna love it when it's about the color of that shirt right there.
That's
So, and the painters have just done a really good job. Like Memorian, we talked about that, doing a deep clean on that, and I'm excited to finally maybe put that project to bed. I'm about ready to be done with the gym. Are you, Jennifer? Are you enjoying it?
I'm a little tired of it.
As you know, there's a teacher shortage in the state. We've been blessed to find and hire high-quality teachers and staff to fill our open positions. I feel very pleased with what our team's done and what we look forward to, the people that we bring back for our team in August. The people that we bring in when we do our Bronco Academy are really good, high-quality people, and I'm excited about the new year. That's my report.
We're adjourned then.
Thank you, Les.